Welcome back to episode 5 on Minibrunn. If you watched the last episode, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a change here. I've added a house and some fencing, and I did that offline. I was going to do it online while streaming, but ran into a little bit of a problem because I kind of reconnoitered this, if you will, before I actually wanted to broadcast. Found a good spot for the house, had to remove some trees to put it in. And to separate the drive from the house and drive from the farm, I put in this fence. I decided to save all this for my next episode because if those of you who do stream, or not stream rather, but play farm sim, know that some of these placeables can be very difficult to put in, and fence is one of them. And I just happened to get this in all lined up and looking good, so rather than start over and do this on a stream, I decided to save it because I managed to get the end post lined right up, and there's 2 or 3 sections of fence here that they all lined up really nice, and I wasn't going to try and go again because when it comes to putting in fencing, I'm lousy at it. So today, this might be a short stream, but what I'm going to do is this one field over here. Oh, wrong menu here. Field 9 has potatoes in it. I was going to plow it under, but after looking at some of the cost of leasing equipment and doing a little bit of calculating, if I go the cheap route on equipment, I can actually make some money on it. So I decided that that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to lease a topper to take the tops off the potatoes, and then I'll lease a harvester to harvest. So we'll go in here, lease this, and we'll lease, we got 2 different harvesters here. Both are, well, that's 25 slots versus 11 slots. Both are 1.8 meters. So we'll go with this one. Run down to the shop and pick those up. This little side road's nice. I don't have to deal with traffic. The AI traffic isn't as intelligent as one might think. Wrong side. Yep. Yeah, the wheels are on this side. Okay, let's get around the other end here. A little tight here, don't have a whole lot of room to move. Thank you, Charles, appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Come to think of it, I think we have to lease another tractor here. We have to do this in 2 stages. This topper's a 4-row. And this harvester is only a 2. Be careful, I don't crash into the fence. Ah, get my act together here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to lease another tractor and use it to remove tops. Oops, I want the store. What are we dealing with here? Let's see. 65 horse. Okay, so T6, 65. Okay. Should have crossed the headland first when I was on the other side. Yeah, I had an issue with it too. I thought I was going to be able to run both pieces of equipment at the same time. It doesn't work that way since this takes off 4. The harvester does only 2 rows, and it doesn't quite work. You end up leaving a row. I need a little bit of room for the harvester to get turned around. I also own the field that these beets are on. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. I'll have to wait and see. I'm going to hire a worker to run the harvester. I missed a little plant there. A couple of them. Hope we're over far enough to catch that outer row. Root crops are not exactly my favorite thing to do. But this should give me a little bit more cash just getting started here. I've still got the loan to pay off. I think getting these farms started is probably the big challenge. Once you're established, it's a lot easier. Oh, favorite map. Probably gonna have to say Felsbrunn. I've spent a lot of time on that particular map. I've got probably almost 650 hours on it. I own the whole map, which I suppose takes a little bit of the challenge out of it, in that since I own the whole thing, there's no contracts to do and things like that, and pretty well established on it. Bank account has grown real nice on it. My other one might be maybe Sussex Farm or Lone Oak. I sort of haven't decided. I've been kind of dabbling in both of those maps, trying to get farms started on both. How about you, Charles? What's your favorite? This Minibrunn's a little bit of a different setup for me. I'm not used to using a map, I guess, that has small fields like this. I usually prefer the ones with sort of like the medium-sized fields like Felsbrunn and Sussex Farm. So this will be a little bit of a change of pace for me. Get rid of the control menu there. It kind of bugs me hanging up there in the corner. Flat map. I've looked at that. Wasn't really thrilled with it. But Alien Jim's maps, I like a lot of what he does. He puts some really interesting little features into his maps that are somewhat entertaining, somewhat challenging. And by challenge, I mean some of the little things he adds are a little difficult to find. You kind of have to stumble across them. But they're a lot of fun. He's come up with some really nice placeables, buildings and stuff, which I like. Keep an eye on my harvester there. How full he's getting. Uh, 70%. Yeah, slot count. I try to keep an eye on that. Some of the equipment and stuff that are in the game here on console, particularly some of the tractors, John Deere and the like, the slot counts are terribly high. Kloss, I think, is another one that has a very high slot count. On my Felsbroom farm, I am just about maxed out on the slot count, and so it kind of makes where you want to put some decorative placeables down, you sort of have to forget about it because you just don't have the slot count to do that. I don't use any of the Kloss equipment or the John Deeres on my Felsbroom just because the slot count is so high. That farm is pretty well developed. Number of buildings, a lot of equipment. I've got just about double of everything in the way of machinery, so that when I get to harvesting, plowing, planting, all that kind of stuff, I've got enough equipment I can actually start from both sides of the map and work back towards the farm. Sort of speeds things up. Come to think of it, what I did on that farm was I put some of the solar arrays in on the ends of some of the fields just to generate some extra income. They're not cheap, and it takes a little while to pay them back, but once they're paid back, that income is basically free, except for the daily maintenance. I think I might do that here. I'll have to look around, see where I might be able to place something like that. It's a little bit of an investment, like it would be in real life, but in the long run it generates income. Ooh, missed a road there. How'd that happen? Okay, gotta go get the tipper. Yeah, on 17 I used the windmills. I haven't done that here on 19. But I used the solar and I have not used the greenhouses. There's just something about the greenhouses that, I don't know, I haven't really had an interest in them, haven't really looked at them. Some of the folks on my friends list, they do greenhouses. And I guess if you have enough of them, you have them set up right, they bring some nice income as well. It might be something I want to look at on my Felsbrunn, just to start to diversify some of the things I'm doing. I've got animals and stuff on there, all except cows. I might have to hang tight here. I don't know if this harvest is going to start on its own or not. Nope. Blocked by an object. Seriously? Yeah, the maps, depending on how you set them up and how you work with them, they can be a challenge. I don't work with any cheats, money cheats. I did that in 17 just to get the feel of the game. And the only time I used a money cheat in 19 was basically to set up a test farm so I could like play with some of the equipment, see how it works. But my actual farms that I started, got going, I didn't use any of the money cheats at all, because I figured without doing that, you're sort of sticking better to a real life scenario, and it adds to that challenge as well. My other map, Felsbrunn, I've got horses, and I'm not sure that was a good idea. They're easy to keep, but you have to train them, and it just seems like I don't have or want to take the time to train them. I probably should continue with them because I'm close to having them trained so I can sell them. We'll see how it goes on this map. I'm just getting started, so look for ways to make money. So right now I'm leasing everything. I haven't bought anything other than the buildings. All the machinery is leased. That way I kind of hang on to some of my cash for other things until I build up the bank account. Okay, he's hard at work. I should see what potatoes are going for. What do we got? $3.68 the supermarket. I don't know if that's a good price or not. In an effort to get some cash, I don't think I'll hang on to them. 30%. Yeah, I got a T-Rex sitting there. I was using it to clear trees rather than try and cut them down and then take them and sell them. There isn't that many to clear. I've been eyeballing this line of trees right here between these two fields. I've had thoughts of maybe merging the fields. I like trees on my map. Speaking of which, I removed trees to put in my house. Shut the engine off there. I probably ought to put them back. Let's see here. Beech, birch, maple. Seasons. Haven't tried it. I did try it on 17. Wasn't really thrilled with it. I'm not thrilled with it on 19. I'm pretty reluctant to try it in my own farms because it seems like once you install the mod and everything, it kind of has an effect on the whole base game, and I'm not sure I want to go that route. I've watched some streams of people who are doing seasons. They seem to work through it pretty nicely. But I don't know if I want to wait for the winters to pass and things like that. But that's almost a case where it seems you want to do animals at the same time. I don't know if that's a good spot for that tree or not. Don't want to put one near. I got my satellite dish there. My light. I will stick it there. That's a big tree. I think we'll leave it at that. What's my harvester doing? Okay. What to do next? Let's see, harvesting contract, field 20, 5,000. Sugar beet. Oh, no, 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 don't want to do that. Corn, only for 3,000. I don't have anything paying really big here. corn on 18. Oops. What do they got for equipment here? Harvester, tipper. It's going to take 618. I've got what I need. Let's see here. If I was to lease another corn head, let's see, that's 6 meters, 9 meters. Oh, 3,400 to lease it. Yikes. Guess I'll use his equipment. Yeah. Wow. What do you mean by what do I use for live streaming? Because I'm on YouTube, and of course PS4. This is corn bakery. Figure out how to get down to 18. I need more map. Let's see. Roads are a little twisty-turny here. Okay. Get my beacons on. Nope, nope, nope. That's a drive. Huh, looks like a regular road. I'm also currently streaming this at 720p. I first started out at 1080. Wasn't sure if that was good for everybody to watch at 1080s. Those with slower internet might have a little bit of a buffering problem. Uh-oh. On the right side of the road here. Oops, let's go this way. I don't know about that. I've not done any videos and then uploaded. I've just simply done live streaming. The harvester's full down there. Voice is simply plugged into my controller, and then in the broadcast setups I've choose to have the mic active and included in the broadcast. I can't show you how that's set up here, because once I do, the stream stops and it won't show it. What I did do is I did purchase a PS4 controller compatible headset with mic, which is a little bit better quality than the one you get with your PS4. See, I got just about a full wagon here. Wait, get a little bit more. Oops, other way. Oh, where am I at on the time here this morning? I've reached a point here, time-wise, I've got to stop the stream. I've got other things I need to get after here. Down the end of the row. One thing I like about the contracts on 19 is you can stop the game and actually pick up the game later and continue with the contract. 17, you were never able to do that. You quit the game, you lost the contract. No, I'm not on Discord. I haven't even looked at it. I sort of don't know what it is. I see a number of players are. I'm kind of reluctant also to set up new accounts on different things. It just kind of spreads you out a little bit more in cyberspace. Let me get down my row here. Okay, I have to stop this stream right here. We'll have to pick it up later on. I don't know, it won't be today anyway. But Charles, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Appreciate your thumbs up. Afterglow, no, I'm not familiar with it. I've heard of it, but I've never really looked into it. Okay, I better save this or I'll be in trouble. And we're out. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Charles, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Until we get online again, everybody have a good, get my tongue straightened out here. Have a good day.